Yeah. And once again, welcome to another episode of A Conversation With. My name's Paul Merca. I'm the publisher of paulmerca.blogspot.com. Thank you for stopping by. Before we get to today's subject, just want to remind you folks that if you've missed any of our previous videos, they are all archived here on the site. If you want to leave a comment or have a question afterwards, please go ahead and type your comment in at the bottom of the page or on the comment section on our YouTube page. Today, I'm pleased to be joined by Eastern Washington University men's head track coach Stan Kerr, women's head track coach Marcia Mecklenburg, and cross country and distance coach Sam Reed. Stan and Marcia just finished their 25th season as the coaches at Eastern Washington, while Sam just finished his second season as the distance coach at Eastern Washington. Folks, thank you for stopping by. What have you guys been doing since we've gotten shut down? You know, I know this weekend you all would be in Lawrence, Kansas at the regionals.
Oh,
that is correct.
Yeah, I've been following that schedule. Just going, okay, today is, you know, whatever day, hurdle day, vault day, throw. Yeah, it's bittersweet for sure.
Yeah.
Through the whole season, just having the weather that it has been so nice here in the Pacific Northwest, and then knowing that we had to meet that day, and it's just, if only we were racing the 10K tonight, it would have been perfect.
Yeah.
It's been a little tough.
Yeah. And Marcia, what about yourself?
I actually try not to think about it.
Yeah.
So, but as far as what I am doing right now, I'm doing a lot of recruiting and redoing our budgets, trying to readjust budgets. So yeah, for the following years.
Yeah. That we'll get to the recruiting part as we a little bit later in the program, but I'm going to start off, just walking back through the calendar, and obviously, cross country got things going. So, Sam, just give us a recap on the cross country season. I noticed that you were very heavily a freshman and sophomore team.
Yeah, so I thought this cross country went really well for us. We're always just trying to make steps forward and improving off of last year, and that's one thing that we really did this year. If you look at conference placement, if you look at regional placement, but by and large, that was due to a really young team, really on both sides. We don't lose anyone on the women's side, and we only lost one on the guys' side. Moving forward, so that's really exciting, but it really came down to improvements, and I think the biggest thing individually was we had some people break into the top 10. Carter was top 10 in both the 8K and the 10K, with going sub 25 and pretty much 31 flat, and then Kinsey Gaines, who is just a freshman, broke into our top 10 all time in the 6K. So some good, really good individual performances, but just that small step forward by the team is really what we're looking for.
And this, I'm going to assume that this team is pretty much all folks you recruited. Were there any from that were held over?
Yeah, from when I came in, there's a really good group on the girls' side who's they look like sophomores on paper, but they're all juniors, redshirt sophomores.
Uh-huh.
There's four of them, and they really add a lot of depth and leadership to our team on the women's side. And they're definitely a driving force on the women's side. And then on our guys' side, I came into a pretty big team, and they've just really been improving, making good steps forward, and they provide that depth, and well, they pretty much are the team on our guys' side.
Uh-huh. All right. Yeah. So yeah, I know you. Yeah, it's like you guys on the men's side, you were ninth at the Big Sky and 10th on the women's side, and then you got fortunately you have the regionals just down the road in Colfax, so that looked like that was a good way to get some of those young runners some big meet experience.
Oh yeah, the conference experience. I think if you add up our conference age again this year, I think we only had like 3 years of returning experience, which most teams have that in one runner. And then same thing, we go to regionals, and it's the first or maybe the second time a lot of them have ever raced at regionals. So just getting that experience is really going to help us in these next coming seasons for sure.
Uh-huh. All right. So now we transition into the indoor season. From your group, looks like Isaac Barville, Dominic Rem, and Carter Ledwith on the men's side, and Maddie Drennan and Reese Jacket on the women's side. Were your had your top marks? Just go ahead and talk about your distance group during the indoor season.
Yeah, so I think the big performances for our teams came at the UW meet when we had both our DMRs race, and then they raced again over at Boise State. And they both put top 10 performances together. Our women's team was 6th all time for Eastern, and our men's team was 10th all time. And our women's team had 3 freshmen and 1 sophomore on that team. So we can put that team together for 2 more years. And so that's really exciting. And then, yeah, like you mentioned, Carter ran over at UW, a really nice 5K, put him 8th all time, like 3 seconds away from really being 4th all time on our list, on our top 10 lists. And then Maddie Drennan at conference just ran a really good race in the 800 and was the top true freshman. And really just down the list, we have a lot of people that ran a lot of PRs or just were sitting better going into this outdoor season than they were the last outdoor season. So we were really excited to get outdoors, get into some of our events that you don't see indoors, like the 10K or the steeplechase. And sadly, that didn't happen. But we were really excited and geared up for that.
Uh-huh. All right. All right. Stan, just go ahead and just give us an overall assessment of the indoor season in terms of both the men's and women's sprints and hurdles.
We had some great top end performances with Parker Bowden, has been just a solid guy from the day he stepped onto the Eastern campus. And whether we get him back next year, what classes are there for your 6th year? And he's into his master's program and is through the first year of that. So that one's, we have to wait and see. Nucci came in. Nucci scored all conference as a freshman. We had a great performance for her. Mm-hmm. We had a couple of people that were redshirting. Joe Gochi, who's on our school record 4x1. He'll be back. He's still kind of a young guy, so he'll be back. And Jonah Matthews is another guy in that Parker category where he's a 6th-year guy. We'll see what happens with this crew. That's one of our kind of ongoing tasks right now with recruiting working with the state budget, what we're being told we need to do.
Yeah, it looks
but
like.
And a good group of freshmen coming in. Got good young hurdlers. Ami Noji out of Seattle will come back well. Yeah, she's had a good summer of training on her own. She keeps asking me for workouts, so I send her to the cemetery. We have a good cemetery with good hills here, and social distancing pretty easy there. So
Yeah. It looks like so, looks like on the women's side, looks like you had some good solid performances from Katie Pesh in the short
And
dashes.
yeah, Katie's part of that good freshman class.
Yeah.
She and Faith Kennedy. Faith didn't have the kind of indoor season she wanted, and that was kind of the sometimes the consequence is the lesson. You have to race more aggressively indoors. Versus the high school mentality in the 400 of sit and kick. Well, that doesn't work too well at this level. But a great kid. They were roommates all year, Katie and Faith. So good balance on and off the track. Great individuals to work with too.
And then in the 400, the men's 400, Liam Bracken.
Liam, yep, our Republic Washington guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll come back. I'm pretty excited about our 4x4 coming up. We have Trey McAdams will have one more year.
Yeah.
And Liam's a good kid, and a couple of walk-ons, Camden, and a couple of freshmen coming in that I guess we get to talk about later.
Yeah.
That I think on the guys' side and both women's side too will have a legitimate 4x4 groups.
Yeah, good. Yes, that sounds like you guys are building up something over in Cheney. Now, Marcia, go ahead and talk about your throws group this winter.
Sure. So we did have a all Big Sky Conference top 3 athlete, Bernice Keys, in the women's weight.
Yep.
She placed 3rd as a sophomore in eligibility. So that was a youngster. Actually, our youngsters, I felt, really did well at the Big Sky Conference Championships. So Hadassah also scored, who is a sophomore. And then Caitlin Paller, who transferred from Olympic College. She made it to the finals in that weight throw. So we had a really good showing in the women's weight at Big Skies. And that, again, like I said, that was our young crew. We had a veteran crew who was very good. We had a lot of depth in the weight throw. Right. So Maddie Depker, Justine Landis, Samantha Boudreau, they were all veterans in the weight throw, and they all had a shot at making it to the finals too, I felt, but didn't quite pull it off. Didn't score in the women's shot, but we've got kids, I feel, who are improving and will be able to come back and do something in that event for us on the women's side. On the men's side, we had 2 guys indoors who really did well for us. Garrett Peoples and Colton Couts, and those 2 are also both returning for us. So Colton is just a weight hammer thrower indoors. Outdoors, he's a discus thrower also. Just a weight thrower indoors, the hammer and disc outdoors. And then Garrett Peoples, who does weight, shot, and disc outdoors. And he improved so much this year. He is a junior college transfer, but came in basically as a sophomore indoors also for us. So we've got a couple years left with Garrett. So got a good crew. Yeah. Now
I'll just go, since Eric Ellison and Dave Nielsen aren't with us, Marcia, go ahead and just talk about your women's jumps and multi-event group.
Absolutely. Well, pole vault. Need I say more? We have an awesome pole vault crew. We are losing our Big Sky Conference champion outdoors last year. This would have been her final season. She has chosen not to come back, and I totally understand that. That was Samantha Rains. But we've got a young lady who came in as a freshman. I'm telling you, we just every year bring in a person in an event, and when one graduates, there's someone ready to step in. So we've got a young man, our young lady, Savannah Schultz, who also was a freshman, scored at the Big Sky Conference Championships, did an awesome job in the vault. And we have all kinds of women vaulters in the wings who have scored for us in the vault at Big Skies. So that really is our go-to event for getting points. And our goal to try and get like the vaulters are in all our other events, that would be ideal. And then we have multis on Dave's side. We've got multis who Rebecca Tharik and Elaine Mapoli, and those are our top two. And they can branch out into other events for us, which is what I really like to see in the multi events, is that these kids can actually then come back and compete in open events, and those two do that really well. And we've got a young group of vaulters, or a young group of multi-event kids on the women's side too. So hopefully they'll just keep progressing and keep getting better.
Now, Stan, your jumps and multis group, that's actually where you got your two conference champions was in that group. Go ahead and talk about that group.
Oh yeah, with pleasure. Yeah, and going into the indoor championships, we knew that was one of the strengths of this year's team. Keshun put together another great competition down in Pocatello, took home another title. Excuse me.
Seven career Big Sky.
7 titles.
Yes.
And then the conference finally got to see Grant Shurtliff in action. Came in, broke our school record in the hep, and he's like a guy that Marcia talked about, a guy that came back, competes in the open events, and put together a great competition for us. And we can't say, like Marcia said, pole vault. Maybe this year we will, because we have a couple of really good young freshman vaulters, Zach Klobuchar off the west side, and Braden Freetag, who's a dad jump for us. Both compete, and Bay Aiello, JC guy out of Lane that competed for us, was all conference a year ago. It's a good crew, probably not as deep as the women's crew, but it hats off to Coach Nielsen and Coach Allison. They've got a show going in that pole vault. People talk about, what event should I go watch? I think, well, if it were me, I'd put a chair at the side of the pole vault pit. But
I mean, and then obviously, now you said you had another kid from Lane between, so it looks like between that kid and Shurtliff, sounds like you've got a little bit of a pipeline out of Lane community, huh?
Yes, out of that way. We've been working on it, and Coach Dan West is down there in that area too, and Rick Baggett. The pole vault community is a pretty tight knit community, as you well know. And so I think they know the credentials that Coach Nielsen and Coach Allison have, and coaches don't have any hesitation sending their kids to Eastern to get better. Under their tutelage.
One of our vaulters is from Lane too, on the women's side.
Wow. Also, got that little.
You can edit the Lane part. Don't let people know where we're getting them.
Now, it's like obviously, the outdoor season was pretty much shot. What were the expectations that you had for your group? And I'll go ahead and start with Sam and then go to Stan and Marcia. Sam.
Yeah. Expectations on the men's side, as Stan will tell you, it was all hands on deck. We were ready to go. We had quite the team, and so we were going to throw in the firepower, not redshirt anyone. We had some people that definitely could score in the distances in the 10K and the steeplechase and 1500 and 800. We just scraping by some points at conference. And then on the women's side, a little different for the distance team. It was more, let's get some more experience in some of the newer events at the college level, and let's try and get some conference experience too. So just really building on the indoor season we had as a women's team and taking more steps forward.
All right. Stan.
Yeah, we thought we had a legitimate shot at winning the Big Sky title with the personnel we had this year going in. And that's through every event. It was really this is our team, not my team. Everybody was ready to contribute. From Keshun in the jumps, Grant in the deck coming back, Parker in the hurdles, Garrett in the throws. We get our javelin crew outdoors that we don't have, and discus folks. That they're not idle indoors, as you know, but
right.
We were going in fully loaded, and we were excited to get down to Weber State and compete on the purple track and show the Big Sky what we can do. It's pretty bittersweet, but the kids have been really good moving forward, and in discussions with some of the kids, I'll talk about it in terms of loss. I say this is not the biggest loss that you're going to experience in your life, and it may not console them a lot at the moment, but I say there's some great life lessons going on as we go through this. A lot of people are losing a lot of things, but you still are. Hopefully, you have your health. You haven't been hit by the COVID, and you have a great career ahead of you. Great contributions you're making to your community, to the university. So. We get to pick up from where we left off, really, and I don't know that we'll have the firepower going in next year, but nonetheless, we'll do our best.
All righty, and Marcia, I know like Stan alluded to, you're working with some people, particularly in the long throws, who probably didn't get to compete during the indoor season. Go ahead, talk about your group and your expectations going into the outdoors season.
Well, we definitely weren't as strong as the men, but between the jumps, I felt, and the throws, we had a really good group, and would have scored a lot of points. I'm hoping we would have finished in the top half. That would have been a good finish for us as we continue to develop our distance group and the youngsters in the sprints and the hurdles. So that kind of was where we were at as far as the team goes. So as far as the throws, it again, like Stan mentioned, getting the longer throws, which we are strong in. And include even moving from that weight throw out to the hammer, I think would have been we're stronger in the hammer than we are in the weight throw. So and then adding that discus, that we had some good kids in those three events. But again, like I said, it was pretty much the same as indoors. Had great multis, great vaulters, good throwers, and then we had Nanucci in that short hurdle race, and then who knows what the freshman sprinters would have done outdoors too. It would have been fun to see what they would have been able to accomplish.
Was there, speaking Nanucci, and I guess this might be for Stan, since was there thought of maybe running her in the 400 hurdles this spring?
Oh yeah, every hurdler gets that opportunity. Yeah, and and a lot of them are afraid of it. I just say be respectful of that race or any race you're going into. But we have some other kids that they need to get strong. That's a tough race, as you know.
Yeah.
But she was a 44-second 300 hurdler in high school.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I watched her at the regional meet in high school last year, and she looked good in both the short and the long hurdles. So she would have been good in both of those.
Yeah. Speaking of which, this weekend would have been also a state meet weekend.
That is correct.
Cheney and in Tacoma. I guess my next question would be for all of you, and I'll start with Sam. How many for cross country? How many are coming back?
So on the women's side, we have everyone coming back. We didn't lose anyone to graduation. So full team returning there. On the guys' side, Isaac Barville was a redshirt junior, but he's going to finish out his grad school degree, and so he's out of school left to do. So he's going to move on with his career. And so Isaac's the only one we lost on the cross country side.
All right, and then I guess Marcia, just I guess on the overall women's side, how many are going to be back?
Well, I'll speak to who we're losing. That might give you a better idea. So we're losing our 2 big point people. That would be Samantha Raines,
right,
and Maddie Decker.
Okay.
So those are going to be 2 tough shoes to refill. But like I said, we've got a lot of depth in the throws and a lot of depth in the pole vault. So those are 2 areas where we've got kids that I know will move up and hopefully regain those points that we're going to lose with those 2 graduates. Nanucci also did transfer, so we do not have her next year.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a tough one for us. But again, we've got sprinters. The sprint crew is a young crew. Hopefully they'll develop and move into scoring some points for us. We'll see what happens there. Our jumps is young, so we don't lose anybody except Samantha Raines in the jumps multis vault area. So we're going to be good. Those kids are going to be 1 year more experienced, and that is going to be tremendous for us.
Yeah. And then so it sounds like on the throws, you're pretty much
on the throwing events.
Yeah, on the throws.
Yeah, in the throws, on the women's side, we've got like Bernice Keys didn't have an opportunity to throw the hammer, but she was looking good in the hammer. And we've got Caitlin Paller, who transferred. She looked great. Hadassah Ward, who is just a sophomore, 2nd year hammer for us, and she looks really good. We have a Maggie Nilsson, who's one of Dave's multis, who's also stud javelin thrower.
Yeah.
So hopefully she'll pick up the slack that Maddie's leaving behind there. In the jav, shot put, we've got Hadassah Ward, and then we've got and we've recruited some kids too. So I feel we're in pretty good shape in the throws.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Stan, what's the status on your sprints and hurdles crew? I think you mentioned earlier that I didn't see my guy Trey McAdams running this winter.
Right. Yeah, we were redshirting him.
Uh-huh.
He's been a good kid in the classroom, and that's if they do that, then it's easier to redshirt them. And I wanted to bring him back for a full year. And he was going to be one of our, one of those workhorses at the outdoor meet, run the open 4 and run on the 4x4. So he'll be back for a full indoor and outdoor next year.
Nice.
Yeah. So on that men's side, my question marks, and it might be that their career takes precedence. We're still kind of waiting on some of those decisions for like a Parker, whether or not he can come back, or Keshun or Grant. They're 6-year guys, and so they're and we are in discussions, career, coming back for one season. And just some uncharted waters that we're in as everybody's experiencing. But we did, if those guys don't come back, we still are in pretty good shape. Our men's throws group, as Marcia alluded to, young group, talented group, especially we get that long throws group going outdoors next year. The men's distance program, those guys are finally hitting that, that first or second year in the Big Sky. It's tough to score a distance point.
Yeah.
As you well know, but then they hit that's third and fourth year. Okay, now they know what they're in for. They've got the training that Sam's putting them through. That will all start to pay off. And our multis, and in the jumps, some young kids coming in that are going to fill out. And I don't know if you're going to get to recruiting is probably one of your next questions, I'm guessing.
Yep.
As we're looking further down the road. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I guess that would be my next question. It's like, I hadn't seen anything on your website, and I don't know if any of you guys can comment on, who for sure is coming in this fall.
Do you want to start with Sam?
Yeah.
Start with Cross again. Yeah.
Yeah, I can kick us off. We have 3 for sures on both the men's and the women's. On the women's side, Marie Taylor from North Central. She was 6th in 3A in cross country, and I think she'll come in and really be a key piece for us. She was a key piece for all those state-winning North Central teams, and so exciting to have that on the team. And then 2 other girls, Lily Betzer from West Valley Yakima and Jenny Bissell from Central Valley, both more kind of your mid-distance 800 milers or 800, 400 runners who are more new to cross country. Lily, this was her first year ever doing cross country, but still made it to the state meet. I think placed in the 70s or something like that. So as they explore cross country realm, I think they'll really be really solid depth people for us, but their strengths will definitely show more on the track.
Okay.
And then on the guys' side, 2 local Spokane kids, Caleb Lloyd from Meade and Danny Maxwell from Lewis and Clark, both top 20 4A kids, will provide instant depth for us and can come in and make a difference right away. And then 1 transfer kid who was originally a Washington kid, transferred from Pacific Union in California, but originally from Walla Walla University or Walla Walla Academy, and was the 2B state champ in Justin Ruzma. And he ran sub 25 flat in an 8K in cross country, and he'll be an impact player for us.
Mm-hmm. All right. Marcia.
In the throwing events, I know we've signed Jasmine Tia. She's from Evergreen High School in Vancouver. She's a 43-foot shot putter. She would also come in and do the hammer and the weight throw for us. Takia Ward from Rainier Beach, 42-foot shot putter. Yeah.
Oh, just right down the street from my house.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah, I live about a mile from Rainier Beach.
Okay. I'm really excited about Jasmine and Takia to see what they can do. And she will come in same thing, shot put, hammer, weight throw. We've got Kelly Shaplow, who's from Toledo High School. She's coming in to play basketball, but she was also a javelin thrower in high school, a very good javelin thrower. And so she will be throwing the javelin throw for us also. We've gotten the okay from basketball. So she will be good to throw javelin for us. So on the women's side, those are probably the top 3 kids that we've signed at this point, or are coming to Eastern and confirmed their commitment. On the men's side, got the big goose egg. Wasn't able to get anybody. Yeah. So, but we do have a walk-on, and hopefully we'll be able to develop with that young man.
Yeah. Okay. And Stan?
Sprint hurdle group with the women's sprint hurdle group with Nucci leaving.
Yeah.
But I think Marika Vischer, who had a devastating knee injury in high school, has put in a good summer. She's had some struggles, but she's as fast as Nucci once she's fully healthy. So if we get her going full tilt, we'll be in pretty good shape. We only lost one out of that women's sprint group. That's just Sophie Bowles. So we bring back 99% of that group. So they're excited about that prospect. They know each other. They get along well. And then I've got a young lady walking on, Emily Madura, out of Vancouver. She's a 400 kid, and I teased her a little bit. She has no idea who Brad Wall and Michael is. I said they're a couple of Vancouver 400 guys. I like 400 runners out of Vancouver. So she's got some good legacy behind her. On the guy side, we picked up signed a couple of guys early. Turns out that was great fortune for us. One is Daniel Gack. He's a Kentwood Conqueror. Really fine 400-meter kid. I think he'll score right away. And the other is a local guy who had a Lakeside High School up north of Spokane, Noah Charrington, state champ in the 110 hurdles and the 300 hurdles. And again, I think he'll score. Maybe not in the 110s first year, but he'll score in the 400 hurdles right away. So and add some depth to our 4x4.
Yeah, it's a big jump from going from 39 to 42 inches. It doesn't seem like much. Yeah. Awesome. So one thing I did, I saw on your social media that you guys are. I saw that the infield at your stadium, the long jump and triple jump runways were being dug up. Are you guys moving to another part of the campus?
Yes.
Okay.
They're also taking out the pole vault runway too. That one just didn't make that picture because that was what they were working on that particular day. So the plan, they don't know where it's going to be relocated. There are several possibilities that we're in discussion with, but not a decision yet. So next year, the long and triple jump, we have elevated runways, much like they used at the Dempsey Indoor.
Right.
We'll put those on the back stretch, so Coach Nielsen won't have to ping pong between here and there to coach that group. So the pole vault and long and triple jump runways will be out in lanes 7 and 8 next spring when you come to see. And then they're getting red turf is going back in. That's the plan for that. But they're going turf edge to edge, and that's why I'm asking, in long term, it makes sense. Get the stadium ready for football, and once we finalize the location for our track, both groups are really going to benefit. And we hope to get the small school state championship back as part of that package.
Yeah. And I guess I know, Stan and Marcia, you and I have talked back and forth. What's the current status on the indoor facility in downtown Spokane? Because it looks like that from what I've seen, that if that goes all according to plan, Spokane could be all of a sudden a hotbed for indoor track in the upcoming years.
Yeah, I I think they are continuing to work on it. So I think they have another 1.5 years before it's completed. I'm not sure if it will get completed in a year. But we want to host Big Skies there. So we definitely would host Big Skies. Hopefully we'd host some home meets there also, indoor meets. So yeah, we're excited about that indoor facility.
Yeah, it's you know, I think did I hear that correctly, that it was going to be modeled after the Birmingham Crossplex, which is where they've had NCAAs a couple years?
You have to ask Stan. I don't know on that.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes. Yeah. Have you seen the Birmingham complex?
I've seen it on TV.
It's city of Birmingham's about the same size as the city of Seattle, so it's a great venue. So that I thought they picked. They did ask a few of us. What venues would you think we should look at, and that was one that we definitely suggested. There were a couple of others, but so we hoped in 2022 that we're going to meet there, and then one of our other wishes is to make that a permanent site for the Big Sky Indoor Championships, which politically it might take some wrestling to get it away from other schools, but Spokane can handle that. With you get the Hoop Fest and the Bloomsday, those huge scale events. This city does a great job of hosting major events. So
that's I know that when I talked to Pat Tyson earlier in the week, those guys are salivating, and I know those guys aren't very far from there, so for their kids it'd be an easy 10-15 minute run to the facility, and then they can get their workouts in. Although for you guys, you'd probably have what is that, about a 15-20 minute drive from Cheney down there if you guys were to work out.
Yeah, about a 20 minute shot. Yeah, with traffic. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Unless Marcia is driving, then it's
all right. Well, folks, I want to thank all three of you for taking the time to talk to me about the Eastern Washington Track and Field program. And for those of you who are watching this, if you've enjoyed this video or any of our previous videos, don't forget to comment by clicking on the comment section at the bottom of this page, or leaving a comment on our YouTube page. And once again, I'd like to thank Stan Kerr, Marcia Mecklenburg, and Sam Reed from Eastern Washington University for coming on. And we will see you next time. Once again, thanks. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.